welcome to American Crime Story, the assassination of Gianni Versace pregame show. I'm your host, Trezene. I'm in charge of all things crime and justice news here at the Fifth Column Network, and I will be your host this evening. I am joined by The Revolution.
No. It is incorrect. I am rather certain that your people did not receive my rider.
Oh.
I am Rayani.
Oh, Rayani?
Rayani Versace.
Oh, Rayani Versace. Producers did not provide me that rider. So,
reintroduce me.
Reintroduce you?
Correctly, please.
Okay.
Tell your let's see here. Let me see. Tell your ones of
viewers. Okay.
Reintroduce me, please.
Okay, let me try this again. I am joined by Rayani.
Rayani.
Rayan.
You got to roll the time. Rayani. Do it with me.
Do it.
Rayani. One more time. Rayani.
I think I have it, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for that tutorial.
Please.
I'm joined by Rayani Versace.
Thank you.
Are you related to Gianni Versace?
Well, if you continue to watch this farce of a program about my family members, you may see some very interesting telltale stories. I am known as the Black Hand of the Versace family.
Oh, the Black Hand.
Si. Si, signore.
Okay. This is interesting. I did not know we would have this exclusive tonight. So you're saying that we're going to learn more about you as the episodes continue in this?
Possibly.
Possibly,
signore.
Well, I'm glad that you're here tonight.
As am I. I'm happy to be here. I dropped my manservant off in the FCN Children's Facility.
Our children's center.
Is that what it is called?
Our Center for Young Children.
Our Center for Young Children.
Yes. Okay.
I had one of those on our estate. It was beautiful. It was 25,000 square feet. It was horses and some villa. It was very nice.
Was it as beautiful as depicted in the series?
More splendid. More
splendid
absolutely.
than Gianni Versace.
Absolutely.
Interesting. We gotta talk a little bit later after
Si,
the
signore.
show. Yeah,
Si,
okay.
signore.
Well, I'm glad that you're here, and I'm glad that y'all are here to join us before American Crime Story comes on tonight on FX. For all the newbies out there who may be seeing the Fifth Column Network for the first time, welcome. If you're like, what the heck is a pregame show? It is where we get together 30 minutes before a show airs, and we talk about the last episode, doing recaps, and then we talk predictions of where we think the story is going. So that's pretty much what it is. So I'm glad that you're here. Let's kind of move into this first episode. It was the first episode of this series.
Yes.
As a family member who says, why you break character?
Cause man, I'm getting texts. People texting me. They're talking crazy.
They're talking crazy?
They're talking crazy.
Okay, well, yeah. I know that you watched the first episode.
Yeah, sure.
What were your immediate thoughts?
It's not as captivating as it did not. First of all, let me say this. I was not interested in watching People versus OJ. I want to be very clear. You were the only reason why I watched. You were like, oh no, it's so good. You have to watch it. And I was like, okay. And you just kept talking about it, right? And so I finally one night I was home, and I think I watched 1 or 2 episodes, and I think we had a meeting, and I came to you, and I was like, yeah, it was pretty dope. Like, and I think it was really good because of the court proceedings.
Yes.
And so upon my first watching of this, can I be very honest with you? I'm like, why should I watch the remainder of this? They literally gave me everything in the first episode. Like, they showed that the FBI botched it. They showed Andrew Cunanan's, psychosis. Yes. They showed Gianni Versace's relationship. They I really don't see why I should continue to watch.
I will say that I think my immediate thoughts are in alignment with that. So one is I did like it. I went in, my expectations were very low. But I did like it. I do not think that I'm hooked.
Yes.
I think that there's plenty of room for this series to fail and to fail big.
Okay.
For that very reason,
Yeah.
that we got so much in the first episode. The thing that I did like is that, oh my gosh, this is about to focus on the killer. It's going to focus on him, the mind of him, you know, and I'm hoping even, you know, the kills he did before, but it does seem that everybody else is like around here and Andrew Cunanan is the center. And I wasn't expecting that because in O.J. Simpson, it didn't focus on O.J. Simpson, his motives or really his criminal mind or anything. It didn't focus on any of that. It was about all the people around it who were moving pieces to, you know, give us the crime or the trial of the century. But this one, they're focusing all on Andrew.
As of right now.
As of right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like that. So I will say, let's talk about the recap of that first episode. I think the segment here is called The Case Debriefing. Unlike any episode in O.J. Simpson, this episode felt like Criminal Minds, where you have a behavioral analysis unit who is literally building a profile of their killer. Like I said, we didn't get any of that in People vs. O.J. Simpson, and this felt like an episode of Criminal Minds. To me, it did. Its primary focus, literally, like they showcased without telling us, right? Without having FBI sit around a table and start saying, what do we know about this guy? And giving us some detailed list or something.
Right.
It took time to show his whack, deformed, deviant personality in different scenes throughout the episode.
Yeah, okay. So, well, as someone who, and I don't like to, you know, list my resume or anything like that, but sometimes you have to when you're qualifying your thoughts. So, as a person who has written for television, a person that's produced television, a person that has worked in the medium for the last 16 years of their life, I am really curious as to where they go, because I think starting us right in a kind of slice of life, if you will, of Andrew Cunanan, and he's living with these people. We don't know who they are to him. He's going to school. He has this relationship. It was all, in my opinion, very herky-jerky. It was like, okay, wait, what's going on? And I felt like that they wanted us to be disjointed, and I don't know if it was on purpose. It did not move purposefully. It didn't. So, yeah, like, how do you go back from there? How do you go back to the murders that happened prior to that? Like, it's just, you know, like, if it's going to be like People versus OJ and showing us how we got there, I think it would have been much interesting and maybe in reverse, but who knows? Right. You know, I'm not Ryan Murphy and company, so I don't know, but I'm not wholly invested. I'm watching, but I'm not like, oh my God, I have to watch, where I feel like I can't miss the episode. I want to be there when it first airs. I just don't feel like that yet. And it's primarily because of the way that they set it up.
That's interesting, because I did not feel that it was disjointed, and it's probably because I was truly looking for them in building that psychological profile. I felt like there were 6 key moments in the episode of showing us him being a psychopath, an old word for sociopath. I think today's psychologists refer to it as antisocial personality disorder, which is typical of most serial killers, right?
But are you a psychopath if you're antisocial?
So here's the thing.
Right.
Psychopath is an old term. They don't even use it anymore.
Okay.
It came out they started using it in the 1900s. They changed it to sociopath in about mid-1900s when they realized that they wanted to showcase that sociopaths have a great harmful effect on society. So they started calling it sociopath. Why is he looking at me? So goofy. And then I think that they stopped using those terms. I mean, they use them still interchangeably in public domain-ish, if you will.
Okay.
But amongst doctors, it is antisocial behavior.
Okay, so my colleagues.
What? Your colleagues?
Yes.
Where?
You said doctors. Continue.
Okay. All right, so here's my list of the things, the scenes or things that happened that showed that he was psychopath. The first one was they showed him with a parasitic lifestyle. So we see him with friends in the beginning. You have nothing in your room, you have nothing in your closet, and you are mooching. Like, he's a classic moocher.
Hide it, hide it, hide it, hide. Oh. I like when he starts sketching back.
So stupid.
He said, many the moocher.
Stupid. Yes, he's a moocher.
He's a moocher.
I
love the word moocher.
It's a great word. It's better than leech. You know,
no,
you don't.
I think one is Mary Poppins. I think one is put some sugar to help the medicine go down.
Which one is that?
I think moocher is
better.
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Because leech,
Bloodsucking.
bloodsucker. You get it in a dirty water swamp.
That's
and you
true.
come up with leeches. But moocher. It's a whole cute song.
Yeah,
Minnie the
that's
moocher.
True. Well, that is him.
He's a leech.
He definitely.
But who
is a
were
leech.
those people?
So very close friends.
Okay.
So I did look it up. Elizabeth Coate is the name of the woman.
Okay.
Lifelong friends from like middle school. The closest friend he had, he was actually the godparent of their children. Right. So she had no idea that he was.
Okay. Where's the level of discernment on these people?
Know.
How can you hang? Listen. I grew up in a black middle class to black middle class, right?
Okay.
And so, like on the outskirts of my neighborhood, right, was the lower middle class to lower class, and there were some sketchy individuals in that class bracket, and I had the discernment to know that them Negroes and Negresses were of sociopathic tendencies, and to stay away from, no matter how charming they may have been, them Negras was shooting you in the face, okay? And they would sell crack to their own mothers, okay?
No.
They was selling crack to their mamas, okay? So, yeah.
None. No.
Sociopaths, you have a comment?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Brent Barnett says phrase Blizzard is killing it today.
Thank you, Mr. Barnett, for that comment on his attire on the show tonight.
Rayani.
Yeah, I was.
Rayani. Okay, so what you got after that?
So then the second thing they showcase, his seductive, manipulative charm. That is always a key component of antisocial behavior, using that to get to mooch and leech off of people. So they showed that, right? So one, you see him being a very clever conversationalist with his friends, fast talking, that kind of thing, keeping them interested. With Gianni in the club, he kept interjecting. I mean, it was very charming. Like,
was it?
I thought
you thought it was charming?
Oh, yes.
I didn't. I saw right through it. It's like, man, shut your fool mouth, man. He over there. And so, my mother, she's from Palermo, and she had an orange farm, and she grew her own.
He charmed right into
That's not
Gianni.
charming.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think that Gianni was probably thinking with his dick. He was looking at this dude like, man, this dummy really wants my attention. Oh, okay. You looking for a little lollipopping, huh?
A little lollipopping?
You looking for a little lollipop, huh? You looking for a little one? a 2, a 3, a 3. That's what he was looking for. He was looking for that back door.
Producers, can we write that down? We need shirts. Hashtag lollipopping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gross.
Hey, you tell that to Gianni.
Okay.
He's
dead.
dead.
He's dead.
Okay.
Touche to the TD. The third thing they show,
Uh-huh.
they talked about him experiencing sexual abuse as a child. So in the scene where he's in the courtyard with the white boy with the blondish hair,
Yeah.
they were talking about him being abused as an altar boy in the Catholic
Yeah.
Church. Did fact check that. The
That was-
Catholic Church did get a report from an Andrew De Silva, not an Andrew Cunanan. And if you watch the episode, you know that De Silva is his alias.
It's his alias. Yeah, he said that he wanted to write the book.
Right.
And about his time in the Philippines with his father and his pineapple.
His plantation. His pineapple plantation.
A fortune made off the back of spindly fruit.
Who knew you could make a
Who
fortune
knew
with
you could make a
pineapples?
fortune with pineapples?
Oh.
That was charming to you.
That whole scene at the opera was just charming. Gianni was eating it up like he was just lolly.
Are you a sociopath?
No, but I have dated plenty, and I always fall for them. The charming. Oh God, it's so bad.
Who falls for
It's bad.
some Puerto Rican talking about some damn pineapples?
Gianni did.
Well, I don't know.
Here's the other one, pathological liar.
Yeah.
That's number 4. You saw it in the scene in the courtyard. Hey, I'll say whatever people need me to say. I will be whatever people need me to be.
Ooh.
I will be straight if I need to be straight. I'll be gay if I need to be gay. And listen, just deceitfulness
Damn.
all around.
That's scary. I'll be whatever I man. It was frightening. It was frightening. And like when the guy in the courtyard at the school courtyard, right, was trying to empathize with him, and he touched his hand. He says, he tried to give him his resume on like, hey, bruh, like me and you should do this,
Yeah.
I mean, you can lollipop with me. You
He
and I
was
can
like-
lollipop. He was like, get your broke ass. Listen,
If you
I might not mess with gold diggers, but I definitely don't mess with broke niggas.
That's exactly what he said. He said, I have a date with Gianni Versace.
Look at your hair, okay? That perm was so 2 years ago.
Oh, it's bad.
Can you let go of my finely manicured
It's so bad.
mooching hair? With your broke ass. Thinking you finna get some lollipopping.
Oh,
You get no lollipopping over here.
None.
You get no lollipopping.
Yeah, that leads to the next one.
Okay.
Lack of empathy.
Lack?
Yes.
He had none.
He had zero, zilch, nothing at all. And
Yeah.
it was highlighted at the end when
Yeah.
he shot old dude and he's changed his clothes and he's in that bar. And everything's on the news showing what's happening. And he sees someone react to it. And he literally looks at her, studies it, and mimics it so that he can also show some type of emotional reaction.
Yeah, that was Hollywood.
Of course it's Hollywood
That was
because they're
Hollywood.
trying to showcase.
That he's
It's like
retarded.
It's not retarded.
He's
Andrew
retarded.
Cunanan actually has an IQ of 147, which is
You know who
very
else
high.
had a high IQ? Rain Man. And he was retarded. Rain Man was screaming over bath water. I don't care how smart you are. If you screaming over bath water, you retarded. Man! 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 Bath water! Ah!
Who booked Leani for today's show?
Reani.
Who?
Reani.
Oh, God.
Reani Versace.
And the last one I added simply because a comment you made when you were watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Grandiose sense of self.
Yeah.
At the very end, there was an outfit he had on.
Yeah.
He had on all yellow.
Yeah.
Walking in broad daylight.
Broad daylight.
Just
No. It wasn't just that. That wasn't. I think you left out what I said. You just murdered someone, and you're sticking around.
yes.
You out here buying the newspaper of your ex. You are hanging out. You are dressed to the nines. You got a cap on. You got a nice belt. You cinched.
So, yes, he was cinched.
He was cinched.
He was.
Coiffed. And cinched.
Coiffed and cinched.
And then you got the nerve to be walking around with your face. I was like, man, this dude is a monster.
Yes.
He's a monster.
Yes, he is.
I kill somebody. Let me tell you something. I'm hiding underneath floorboards. I'm moving around at night. I'm talking real night. Like
The dead of night.
3:30 is when I'm finally coming out from up underneath them floorboards. I'm moving blocks at a time. It's gonna take me a good 4 weeks to get out of the neighborhood before anybody find me. I'm laying low. I'm drinking rainwater.
Okay.
I'm eating bugs.
Yeah, you like no food transactions, no nothing. You just
Nah.
gotta rough it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting out of there. I'm not walking around looking gorgeous. Nah, bruh.
Well, that's what he did.
Yeah.
And that's what a psychopath would do.
Yeah.
We have any new comments?
Hashtag lollipop.
Hashtag. Yeah.
Ooh, who got that?
Yes. I believe the TD himself. Hashtag lollipop.
Of course he did.
Yep.
We need to renegotiate his contract.
Okay.
All right, before we move on to predictions, though,
Yeah.
let's talk fact check.
Yeah, let's fact check. Let's, please, because you hit me up with some interesting ones when I was saying something to you about the show. So go ahead.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, this series is based on a book that was written by a well-respected journalist, and she did 400 interviews over 2 years.
Wow.
So it's very heavily researched. She's watched the entire series, and she said, everything in my book is 100% true, and there's some stuff in this series that definitely has been reenacted and fabricated for Hollywood, right? So she's acknowledged that herself. So I can tell you this. Remember we were watching, and the lady with the picture of Versace runs and puts blood on it.
Yeah, and soaks it in the blood.
That was true.
Wow.
That truly happened.
That really happened.
I thought that was Hollywood embellishment. I really did.
I did not. Truth is always stranger than fiction. Always. You know, so it's like growing up, my mom, one time I was with Jayco, and we were riding trains. We were notorious for riding trains and then jumping off of them and doing, you know, like, we almost died. And so my mother was like, what were you doing? I said, I was with Josh and we were doing this. And she said, why are you always lying to me? Right? And I was like, oh, okay, I was with Jasmine. And see, that's all you had to say. And I was like, that was the lie. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, you want me to lie to you. And
Oh, well, okay.
so I learned at that moment, the truth is always stranger than fiction. No one believes the truth. You know, like, I think that, like, me having a life that I've always had, that people always think that I exaggerate these stories and the things that have happened to me. And I'm like, no, I don't really have to. And then when they hang out and find out, and they're like, oh, wait, this is real.
This is real.
This dude doesn't embellish. Like,
It's
nah, I leave
real.
stuff out because it's even crazier if I keep it all in. So I definitely get the truth, the stranger fiction. So I believe that when I saw the
When you saw
blood,
it?
I was like, you can't make that up. You couldn't write that. That had to be real.
Okay.
That had to be real.
Okay. Other things that were true, bystanders who were flaunting their outfits
That was
in
so
the
funny.
camera. Like, where is that lady come from? People did that when the news was out doing coverage.
Yeah.
That was true.
Okay.
The dove getting shot at the same time Gianni was shot. That was true. That was not made up.
I could not believe that. I thought that was Hollywood. Right there, I was like, okay, that's Hollywood. The death of a dove.
Right.
And Gianni
Right.
at the same time, the death of innocence. You ain't innocent. You out here picking up boys at the lollipop factory. You at club.
And making your boyfriend bring them back.
Yeah. Scusi. Bring Ciabella. Lollipop.
That's funny. Here's what wasn't true.
Okay.
The date at the opera. Completely fabricated.
I knew it was. I knew that was a lie. I knew that was. I was like, this is Hollywood. This
really
is Hollywood because it moved too quick. It was like, wait, why would you invite him? And you know what I mean? It didn't feel right. It was too whimsical. So I was like, nah.
I would agree with that.
I was like, nah, that wasn't real. So
Here's another thing that wasn't real.
okay.
The scene at the club. It wasn't all the way made up. It actually happened in reverse in real life. So it was Gianni who hit on Cunanan using his standard pickup line that he would use on young boys, or younger men, I should say. He would mention the name of a location and like, do I know you? I think I know you. And he would say a location, and that would be his pickup line. So it happened, but it happened in reverse. It wasn't Cunanan approaching him. It was Gianni.
Okay. He was trying to pick up a little cuckoo action, huh?
Yes, he was.
He wanted to taste some
He
cuckoos.
did.
Okay.
He did.
Okay.
But you brought up something after watching.
Yes.
And for those who don't know, Katrina, the story of Katrina, was supposed to be the second season.
Yeah.
And then they announced in June of 2017 that they were going to do Gianni Versace story instead. The reasons they cited was, one, they found a new source for the story.
Yeah.
Right? And then the second reason was they were having complications with the water effects. And then you brought up something, gave a whole new theory for why
Absolutely.
this switch happened. Why don't you tell the viewers what your theory is?
So I'm watching it, and there was a scene with Andrew. He's in the restroom. He said, "Thank you, producer." I'm getting baseball signals. I have no idea what that signal was actually for, but.
Oh, second camera?
Oh, I think they wanted me to do.
I
It's
thought
too late.
this was 2 minutes. Like,
Yeah, the moment is past now.
heck?
You messing up my mojo. Go back to camera one.
Help us.
So put me back on camera one. Thank you. So I'm watching it, and Andrew's in the restroom, and there was this beautiful red light on him, and it was signifying danger and death, and it was in slow motion. The water hit him, and I said, "Oh my goodness, this is shot in Miami. He's gay." I said, "Look at the cinematography." I said, "They're trying to ride the coattails of Moonlight." I said, "Oh my God." And I said, "Trezane, do me a favor and find out when they decided to switch from Katrina to the assassination of Gianni Versace." And I really feel like they wanted to ride the wave while it's very fresh on people's minds about the emergence of the gay culture in mainstream America. Moonlight took place in Miami during the 90s. This is taking place in Miami during the 90s. If you watch them, they really have a very similar cinematic profile. Pacing, it's very style over substance, because I don't feel that the assassination of Gianni Versace has a lot of weight to it. That's why I'm not pulled in. Moonlight did not have a lot of weight. It felt like an old school MTV era styled film, like when you look at a Purple Rain, when you look at a Footloose, when you look at a Flashdance, when you look at a Top Gun, very MTV style. It's something that we talk about in the industry. MTV cuts, edits, very quick, music heavy, popular culture, music heavy. And it looked like that. And Versace on FX looks like that. It plays like that. And I don't care what they say. If Spike Lee could have made a documentary about it, if Beyonce could do a music video simulating Katrina and the neighborhoods being underwater in a cop car, then I'm sure FX has the fiduciary situations to make that happen. But they didn't, and I believe that's why.
Okay. Wow. That's what we do here at FCN. They're pulling it all together. That's a very
Pop
good
culture.
theory. Pop culture anthropologist.
That's what I am.
That's why he gets the big bucks.
Yes. I told you, my colleagues.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Dr. Rayani Versace.
You know, you mentioned gay issues, the 90s. Definitely felt that in this first episode.
Yeah.
I was just so thrown by the interrogation of the boyfriend. I can't think of his name or pronounce his name. Gianni's longtime partner.
Yeah.
Being interrogated by the police.
We'll call him Pedro.
We'll call him Pedro?
Yeah.
Okay, Pedro.
Yeah.
Pedro. You know, by the treatment of him and not understanding partner and wanting to say it partners, and you argue with his pimp and you bring boys here. I'm just trying to understand what happens here. And I saw comments on social media where people were like, this is unbelievable. No cop would talk to somebody like this. And I'm thinking, today they wouldn't. But
Are you kidding me? Today they would.
To not understand partner, domestic partner?
No, to be condescending.
Okay.
And
all right.
to,
That's very, very true.
And when you don't like someone's minority class,
right.
It's not changed. I don't think that this white officer is any different than a white officer today who has a disdain for the person that he's interrogating because of who they are and what they are. I can see that. You know, I don't believe that at all. And that there was a Latina in the room too. It was a Latina and a Latino in the room, and he excused them.
Yes.
To talk to,
did.
I mean, he was supposed to be Italian, but it was Ricky Martin. We all know it's Puerto Rican. You can't hide it. But I mean, it was a good attempt at being Italian. And then you got that Spaniard over there. What's her name?
Oh.
Penelope.
Oh my gosh.
She was doing the most excellent Donatella Versace, honey. I do not like you, you cocksucker. You have been with my brother. And I told you to just take care of him. And you couldn't even do that. You cocksucking Puerto Rican. Get out of my brother's house. And you will not get a single dime from Donatella of Versace.
That's what she sounded like.
She did.
But you know who else sounded like that?
Who?
What's her name? Jackie Onassis. Kennedy.
Oh,
she
that voice.
That voice.
That
they were chain smokers. Both of them were heavy smokers. And Donatella liked to use the la cocaine. She's a party animal, I tell you.
Well, I'm just glad Penelope is playing her because I could not look at no Donatella for 8 episodes.
Donatella looked like Donatello the Ninja Turtle. Donatello, she looked like she crawled up from the sewers with green ooze. And Donatella is scary looking. She looks like a spliced human being with some type of mongoloid animal.
It's bad.
It's bad. Donatella's ugly. Let me just say, Donatella ugly.
Bad.
She ugly.
Is she still alive?
Yeah, she's still alive. She's 62 years old.
Oh, she looks 62 in the 90s.
Man, she in the 90s. But here's the thing, though.
What?
She come at me in the club. Hello, young fella. Don't I know you from somewhere? Didn't I? Yeah, you did, Donatella. Come on over here to this broom closet.
The broom closet? The broom closet.
The broom closet. That's the name of the club.
Oh, God. The broom. Producer, how much time we got? What's the time? I can't.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up, B. Okay, well, I guess we did talk predictions. Like, I don't know where the story's going to go.
I don't. I mean, we know where it's going to go, but I just, obviously we saw that they kicked in the door of a friend of his that Ronnie. So we're going to see more of that relationship.
Yeah, I think he's lying.
Oh, of course he's lying. He was lying. He's like, no. Like, he looked guilty, He looked like poor man's Freddie Mercury. Like, he looked...
He did. He did.
He looked like he was like, hey, and another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey.
Galileo.
You know what? I'm going to wrap it up. So I can go watch the show.
I wonder if Johnny wrapped it up.
Probably not. Let me hit on that real fast.
Yeah.
There's quite a few little things they dropped of Gianni being HIV positive, as well as Andrew Cunanan. So in the beginning...
What?
First of all, the first 8 minutes had literally 4 lines said.
Yeah,
it was all
I like
music.
that.
I like that too. And so they basically show Gianni get up in the morning, put on his slippers. The first thing he does is go to his dresser or nightstand. There's 2 bottles of pills. He takes those pills and he drinks water and he walks away. And I was like, oh, what's in those bottles? So there's rumors that he was HIV positive. The family says that he had ear cancer. So, right. So that was one.
Excuse me, is that prevalent? I've never heard
of ear cancer.
I've never heard of. Do you know felines? There's feline AIDS.
No, I did not.
Yes, in the feline community, there's feline AIDS.
Interesting.
So I've never known it until I knew it. So now maybe there's ear cancer.
Maybe you only get it when your immune system's suppressed, and
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then there was some hints thrown that maybe Andrew Cunanan was HIV positive.
How? Tell me.
In the beginning, he was sitting on the beach and he pulled his shorts down, and there was a bunch of lesions or sores on his leg. And then after
they were burns.
I couldn't tell, but he ran to the bathroom. He needed to vomit, and I was like, "Are you vomiting because of something you're about to do, or are you exhibiting signs of illness?" Like, we couldn't tell because even after he did that, the camera panned to the wall of the bathroom stall, and it had filthy F word. And I'm like, "Oh, what are you guys trying to say?"
And his face was right next to a crudely drawn penis.
Yes.
Very, I really enjoyed drawing penises. Most boys do, and you draw them with arms and stuff, and
Oh, with arms?
yeah, vascular arms, and you draw them with guns and stuff. It's very crazy, little boys, very crazy, very crazy.
I'm gonna thank Mr. Rayani Versace for his appearance on tonight. His great comment about armed penises.
Yes.
Join us next week at 9:30 for the next episode of this pregame show. Anything we need to promote here on tonight? Let's see. I'll be back on air tomorrow, Thursday, for FCN Prime News, where we talk all things crime and justice news in real life, as well as international and business news. We'll have True Baller Thursdays with J. Cole and the Reggie Mathis. They'll be talking everything NBA on TNT. And then after that, we'll have the Wind Down Thursdays with Starla K. Mathis, Creative Life Mom and Wife, and she will be joined with her guests as they talk about quite a few things, including recapping Scandal and its final season. So that's what's happening tomorrow. So Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow so that you always get notifications when we come back live. With that, love you all. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.